Rightio. So last time you were on the Sea of Salat to the Kiristar, which is how you're supposed to spell it and pronounce it. Kiristar was the name of the city that you're in, when a wonderful little encounter with a little black dragon managed to find one ship at the bottom of the ocean.
With a fair few crew.
Just about everything.
There were molten puddles of food.
Yep. And things are sort of settling down. There's enough corroboration to say that it actually did happen. So, what are you doing?
Sitting in the corner, shaking gently.
Rightio.
I had some feeling. Now, I was attempting to figure out who the people were. And I had gone to the docks, but guards and things like that were keeping me away from being able to get any decent proximity. So instead I was looking for a dockside tavern where any dockhands that had been, able to leave the area might have been shooed off to.
There's dockhands around the place.
Well, then I will try and get the scoop from them.
Well, it was a broad bottom galley, quite a big one, 3 masts.
So one capable of traversing the swamp.
Possibly.
Broad bottom, flat bottom, sort of thing.
Possibly. Well, it's more the width of the ship means it could carry a hell of a lot.
Okay.
So there's more a flat bottom is what you're looking at for the
yeah.
And usually it's like up to a 10-man boat that has a step-up mast that would sort of do the swamp thing. But it was out of...
Anybody know who it belongs to based on the...
No, but you get a description of the flag or the heraldry anyway.
Yeah, we'd already seen and heard that. We just didn't know who it belonged to.
Yep.
Did I miss the session, or did I miss the end of last session?
I don't know.
No, you didn't miss anything.
So I've actually drawn it up so I can describe it. So it's
just someone went out to find info. Will.
Yeah.
Yeah. While you were huddling in terror.
Terror is such a harsh word.
Yeah, I was more planning my victory, mate.
Horror.
Planning my victory.
Horror.
Accurate but harsh. So, what sort of questions are you asking them, Melody?
This is fear, not terror.
Oh, so yeah, realistically, I was only trying to figure out, who the ship belonged to. But obviously the heraldry thing, where in town would you find?
There's a lot of scuttlebutt going around, but most people, these guys are just tied up. They were just tying off when the attack happened, so no one had actually got off the ship. But they believe it's... they haven't found anyone. Kalanthra, which is when I show you the... I'll do a quick drawing. So the Sea of Salat is sort of like this, and you've got the swamp over here, you guys are sort of here, and the other place is up here. Kalanthra.
Where they were heading?
No, that's where they're from.
Oh, okay.
So that's just a very rough picture of it all. So they travelled, what else can I tell you? Kalanthra is an interesting place because you go for a short trek over land and you hit the Great KAM River, which it also comes across here, which the swamp is sort of connected to.
I was about to say, so it basically loops around somewhere.
Yep. But that's where Kalanthra is where a lot of the produce and stuff from the Sea of Salat actually enters the river and travels downriver. That's where a lot of the mercantile stuff, the direction it goes, and then it travels back up by horseback or mule or something. So, for some reason, somebody decided to target some sort of merchant house or something from Calenthro.
Dragons are intelligent,
dragon.
right? The dragon could have just...
Dragons are intelligent?
Highly. Pretty
I mean,
highly, right?
In this setting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, in this setting.
In D&D in general.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wyverns are the stupid ones. And
So could the
Lannorns.
dragon have just had a personal grudge?
I don't know the
It's
guy that shouted out, "Ooh,
possible.
look, pretty blue birdie."
Jizz.
Whoops.
Okay.
Yeah. It's possible.
My cousin Jizz was the smart one. Fuck. Right, so... well then I will... remember the heraldry. I'm just trying to think who would be the most likely to... I'm just... yeah, dragons striking one ship, not the entire harbour. I mean, it just heave its guts across the entire bloody dock and destroy the lot.
Mm-hmm.
Seem to be pretty
That
targeted.
would suggest a surgical strike.
So who A has made a deal to get rid of one particular player with a dragon, at which point, damn, like, this area is not known for a particular black dragon being in the area, is it? I mean, we are in a swamp, so that's highly likely.
You aren't in a swamp.
But yeah, well, we're near a
Swamp's
swamp.
further up. No, the dragon's known to roost there, but it doesn't tend to do much in the way of...
yeah, it doesn't do anything to
annoy
provoke
people.
shit. Yeah. Right.
There's the odd group of adventurers who deem it worth enough to go and try their luck, but you don't usually hear them about them after that.
Should have taken more job with him.
Okie dokie.
Sorry.
Well, yeah, we're not taking that job. Just trying to think. So, does the dock have a quartermaster? Like,
Yeah, it would have a harbour master.
harbour master. Sorry, that's right. Quartermaster.
A what, sorry?
A
Harbour
harbour master.
master.
I don't know why, but
What is it?
quartermaster sounds right, mate. You had me fooled.
Yeah, quartermaster is what
Quartermaster would be-
looks after stuff for armies and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So hard.
Work under the harbour master.
I was about to say, if
Possibly.
there was a Navian dock, they would have a quartermaster.
Is
They
there
would
maybe
no. They would
dock?
have a purser. Pursers actually do that job.
A purser?
Maybe.
What?
Yeah, pursers and navy do that job.
Huh.
Okay. At which point I will try find the quartermaster and see if they've got a board of the ships that were due to come and go. If I can get near it, obviously they might be blocked off by the bloody guards on.
You get towards the building, but that building seems to be shut up for the moment. There's a couple of people just waiting around. They look like guards, city guards.
Alright. At which point, no, we're not going to bother. They're not going to be able to tell me anything. Like I say, there's no actual notice board outside or anything like that that
No.
would have told us any of that. Okay. At which point, I will take what I know and go back to the group, which is 5/8 of NAF.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, crud. There we go. Have audio again. Don't ask me why that loves to happen to me. So yeah, I'll bring the information that I've got back to the group. That essentially the ship that was damaged apparently came from further up north on the Sea of Salat from Calenthro. And yeah, it's about the limit of what I'm finding out at the moment, given how tight-lipped / shut off the dock area is.
Mm-hmm.
Without wanting to go swimming at the bottom of an ocean. that could,
Right.
or may or may not have pools of acid currently resting on top.
hmm So it's a bit later that night, about a couple of hours actually. You're just still drinking in your cups, about ready to head out to find a place to sleep for the night. Remember, this is only a tavern-y sort of place, not an inn. When the gentleman walks over to the group, he's thin, not overly tall, but his thinness makes him look longer than he actually is. He'd be around about, I don't know, 5'11" or something. But he looks like weighs all of around about 80 pounds.
What a whelp! And that's coming from the
He's
female elf.
Yeah, he's an older man. He's got a worn face with a very thin moustache and a very thin sort of soul patch, in dark coloured hair. We're not quite sure whether it's dyed or not. His hair is thinning on top when he takes off his hat to bow and introduce himself. He
Give him a
talks.
curt nod back.
He talks with a slight accent you can't quite place, and he asks if he has the pleasure of addressing what do you go by, this group? The
What do we go by?
We have.
Under what name are you registered? As a
Vaki the Indomitable.
Bit. Yeah, Mint, Skamboo, and friends.
Party A.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Party Z. What happened to the others? Don't ask. Did the previous group in the other alternative timeline think of a group name?
Nope,
We
they,
did not.
Oi.
they weren't even there.
We need a group name.
It was clearly Team Ramroad.
No!
Oh.
I refuse to run a name. I hate you. God, man. Thought you're my
What
best
was
friend.
So you are registered
Don't
that
you
we
feel
were
with a
from?
guild here, and you would have to have some sort of association name, whether it's a company or a name that's associated with you, so that you can advertise and receive job offers.
Think of something cool, guys.
The pretty
See, my
little
suggestions I
girls.
feel like are worse than Matt's, so it's upsetting me.
You mean they're worse than my jokes? My
Yeah.
blatant jokes.
Oh, my blatant joke
Saying
that we
more.
can be the bad company. Whoa, mate, it's a play on words. I'm so intelligent.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
So, damn it.
Uh,
What was our hometown from the other game, Steve? That's
No.
what I'm trying to find.
Home.
That's
No,
actually
that
a
was
pretty
the
good
world.
Home.
No, that was the world.
Oh, that was the world.
Fremantle.
Oh yeah, Chaos Mantle.
Fremantle.
Nah. Freemason. No, wait, I'm just.
Oh, you're just naming real things now.
I'm
Oh,
just
I was gonna say, Fremantle
Come on,
is.
William.
Ulthric!
Yeah.
It's a name.
The name is the most important part, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, okay.
Nah,
So you might have named yourself after some great animal or beast or
Black Dragons,
or
got it.
something that's important.
Black Dragon seems topical and current. It'll get us noticed.
For all the wrong reasons.
Oh jeez.
Ajis. The Ajis.
No,
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I like that.
I'm strongly opposed. Strongly. Not when I'm
The
racist. It sounds a
stronglies.
little bit too much. I don't know.
I like
What's that
North
word?
Desert.
There's a word that
Not
I'm
the
looking
desert,
for.
but like arid.
God, I'm not racist enough. Jihad. That's just a bit too jihadi
No,
for me.
no, yeah, there you go. Shit. What do we primarily do? Like,
You
We
take
don't know. We come
jobs.
from the other world, didn't we?
Yep. You know that you've taken jobs, a lot of different jobs, but primarily protection jobs. protecting caravans, protecting merchants, moving items from one location to another under your protection. It's that sort of commercial work that you do. That doesn't stop you from doing adventuring and that sort of stuff, but when you're talking about commercial, that's the area you've sort of gone into. Yeah.
I vote the hand.
The hand.
Yeah, because we have our hands in
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah.
And we all have hands, so I mean...
Well, at the moment, that's
Oh, wait,
very
wait,
true.
did our company exist before our new personalities took over these bodies?
Yes.
Oh,
We
well,
have
that-
lives.
So this name we would have had for ages, basically.
Yeah.
Like it would have been something we came up with ages ago.
Hmm.
God, I feel like we should have had a fucking pre-game meeting about this.
Well, it's okay. You can still do it. I mean, if all you do is
Can't we just
just
be like a
get
free
things
company or
sorted
something?
out, that's
Oh, God,
fine.
free company.
You know, we're
free
you're
company, I'll
definitely going to
stole
get
that
into
from
the
somewhere.
story next year. Definitely.
We can call ourselves placeholder for now.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
take
going
that
to
over
be really
our
good in the
talk
role
about
playing.
it.
Okay, so you want to think about
I'd say, I
it.
mean, let's review some of the more famous ones, right? So,
Right.
if you want the sort of the names of the more famous ones from, say, the Forgotten Realms, you've got the Flaming Fist.
We can't steal Forgotten Realms. This is not Forgotten Realms.
I'm just saying, you know, these are the sorts
Mhm.
of names that, you know, people had.
Yeah.
The original Skagen group were the Seahawks.
And then there was a second group called the Storm.
Storm
Hey,
Crows.
what's
Crows.
a scary animal?
was
in there?
Tyrusian.
What's
That
a
was
good?
the Tyrusa game.
Mm.
Diabolical Weasel.
What's but
Dire Weasels!
now what's the scary
Dire
animal
Weasels.
where our new characters are from?
A scary animal.
That's, yeah,
Sturge. Sturge is scary.
their name is
Rock
worse.
grubs are extremely scary.
What?
Rock
The
grubs.
Herculean
Wait.
horse. I mean,
the Hercules.
I didn't say that.
The 9-headed horse of Hercules. Yeah.
The three-headed horse of Hercules.
Yeah. No, I've got a 9-headed one now. It's worse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
I
Yeah.
just,
That neigh is going to get a lot longer.
I vote-
Fist fighting with
You
my
know what's behind you,
doppelganger.
right?
I vote
Well,
we
what's
pick
that with-
literally a cool animal from the area, and that's our name. You know, you said Seahawks, whatever.
Sturges
What
are
about
pretty
the
cool.
Hellhounds?
Done. It's a bit edgelord for me, but I love it. Vaki's on board.
Yeah, I could go for some hellhounds.
hmm
Okay,
Still
so
like fist fighting.
It
with
sounds
my
very much like Melody's current personality. That
so is it
swashbuckling
just the
suave.
Hellhounds, or are you going to do something weird with the name, like say, you know, the Silver Hellhounds or the Crimson
Doesn't
Hellhounds?
make any sense.
Oh, Crimson works.
The really nice hellhounds.
The Vermilion Hellhounds. Why'd you pick
about
just
just
another
the
shade of
Crimson
fucking
Hounds?
red? The Scarlet, no. Just how many different shades of red can you name? Too many.
Yeah. So it's just the Hellhounds, you're not doing anything else with it?
Mm.
Now you've made it feel like we need to.
No,
What's wrong
no.
with you, Steve? We had decided,
No.
man. Oh.
Just remember, this is going to be important because this is what the group's history is going to be. So if anyone's wanting to do anything now, now's the time, because your history is going to start getting written now.
As long as it's not salad fingers and the rusty spoon. That would
I
not
don't
make a
like
good
I
that.
first name.
honestly, I'll take salad fingers and the rusty spoon over Tim Ramrod. Come on, Matt. Come on.
Oh, that was a joke, you fool. Although I managed to get a spaceship called it in the Traveller's game.
Did you? I'm so glad I was away for that game.
You were there. You were there.
I
Right.
refuse to
Hey,
acknowledge.
it's a good name for a spaceship, I reckon. But anyway, moving
Yeah.
on.
God.
Okay, so the Hellhounds, nothing else.
No, we need something else.
Oh
Do
gosh.
we want?
What about just the Crimson Hounds or
How
something?
about the Fluffy Hellhounds?
I like Fluffy.
Yeah.
John
Um,
Fluffles.
Oh,
I'm
Ah.
on board.
Wait, let's just we're leaning into the edgelord. Who said Crimson Hellhounds? That's edgelord
Me.
for
I
me.
said Crimson Hounds, but Crimson
Crimson
Hellhounds.
Hounds.
No, if you take out the hell, then yeah, the Crimson Hounds.
Yeah, I like the Crimson
Yeah.
Hounds.
Yeah.
All right.
the Crimson Hounds. I'm just Ronnie's not able to
So
make that,
after
so
we
your group
argued for a while
is now
between ourselves in front of the stone,
uh,
the Hounds.
Crimson.
All right,
We needed like a 3-hour
Hounds.
pre-game to
I was
come up
going
with
to
this.
say, session over. I'll see you all next year. Is that our
Almost.
achievement game?
Almost. You've achieved a lot. Okay, I've just told Ron that your group is now called the Crimson Hounds. Okay, so the gentleman, as I was describing him,
Thinning hair, wispy, sort of, beard and soul patch. Yeah, got it.
yeah. He says, "Do I have the pleasure of addressing the Crimson Hounds?"
I
Is
offer
Vaki in on the
my,
group? I stepped away for a second.
I just put my hand out towards the empty seat, and sort of, we are.
Well, if I
I think
may.
Fear's at a different end, by the way. Just putting that out there. I think Fear's someone else trying to figure out why she hasn't got grievous wounds all over her.
Okay.
So yeah, Fear's somewhere else.
He says, I could not but help notice earlier today that several of your group were near the docks where around the time of the attack by the Black Dragon, and also later on I noticed yourself there. You seem to be having a nose for detail or interest in finding something out. Perhaps our two interests could combine and be profitable for you and your group.
They very well could. And, how do I put it so succinctly? No, Melody's likely to be blunt. And who are you?
My name is Vanier.
If you don't, what are you, Canadian, mate? Come on.
No, I'm not Canadian.
What
What is a Canadian? He
I
says.
mean, who are you?
Talking
You don't
about
like
Vaki.
me asking? Oh, come on,
Yeah.
man.
So he
I'm a
says,
swashbuckler.
my name is
I don't give a
Vanier,
shit, I'm straight
and
to the point.
I represent another party who also has a similar interest in finding out a little bit more about what just occurred. So much so that my financier is willing to pay money for said information.
You've piqued my interest.
So I don't want to get bogged down in bartering because I do have a limited purse, but if you were to take this job on, we would need some valid and viable information within 2 weeks' time. And for your troubles, my financier is willing to pay each one of you 100 silver pieces for your time.
150.
He just said he wasn't going to barter.
That's what everyone says to make you not barter. Fool. Backhand.
Deflect.
Yep.
Boot to the balls. I mean, straight under the table. Oh, yeah.
You can't refuse to attempt to barter.
No, you can try.
And what was
Okay,
your
I will. Okay, so I just have to go
financier?
for a reaction roll if you're attempting to barter. Yep, go.
I was about to say, what would your financier consider, good information?
Well, first of all, he would want to know who was involved in this.
Okay, so he's just as in the dark as to who got affected or
and
caused it.
well, who was involved. Basically, would be a good start. And if you do come across any other more specific information apart from that, then my financier is willing to definitely negotiate extra terms.
Okay.
If you find much more than that, we are willing to pay for good information.
Oh, mate.
Okay. So,
Which is why I can't barter now, because you might not have any of the extra information that might be valid or viable. He does look like he's wearing some quite well
yeah,
I mean, they are quite nice clothes.
How
They're
well
not,
off? Like, what's the clothing made of?
it's not a nobleman's clothes, but it's not far off.
There's
So-
nothing like the feel of a velour uniform.
That's right.
Oh god. Brannigan.
So good.
Yeah.
Yes,
Brannigan.
Matt, we all knew it was Brannigan. Come on.
Oh my god, I was talking to myself anyway. Continue.
Right, so,
Right.
Hey, Fear's not in the room.
So he's fairly fancy, and he looks like he's got the money.
Well,
to
he's
back up
he's
his
very well dressed. If we were put it into modern times, he's not like billionaire, millionaire,
he's
but
not-
he's
I mean,
sort
obviously
of like
he's not wearing any crests or anything that gives him
no,
away.
he would be like a very well appointed
Okay.
butler, perhaps. Might be the equivalent that you're looking at.
So,
Can I ask who you're?
Yes, you may
finance,
ask.
yeah.
Okay, I'm asking.
I'm glad you've asked. My financier is an interest party in this. Who wishes to know more? Of course, no names need to be mentioned, and of course,
Let's call him Bob.
if you do work at cross purposes with other agencies, the more accurate and viable or valid the information, the more willing my financier is willing to compensate you for your troubles. But we have to make one thing very clear here. Should you do something foolish enough to get you incarcerated, we will... I
Deny
don't
everything.
exist.
Okay,
Right.
I'm willing to waylay my pay for questions answered, not pertaining to your group, but pertaining more so to myself. Do you have mages or scholars on hand?
I'm not at liberty to detail the resources that my financier has. I am at liberty to offer you this job to see if you can secure information that would be in a beneficial nature to my financier.
So
We've
that's
got
a
2
yes,
weeks
but-
to do it, and the week in CAM is 7 days?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
It follows the wearing calendar,
Yeah,
which I'll have to
okay.
dig up.
Yeah, I bet I'll have to dig one up. Hang on 2 seconds, just gotta go put my cat's food
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Come here, you stupid black and
You're
white.
a cat man?
No, no.
Okay then.
Yeah, get a dog, because cats are for bitches.
Thank you.
Cat.
Cat's alright,
yeah,
mate.
no, I hate cats.
Why do you have one?
So
Why are you
fickle.
feeding it?
Love
Don't
cats.
say that in front of the cats. Yeah, okay, hun.
Cat's pretty good. I'll say that.
No,
Oh,
I've
you
always
got a
been
cat
I've always
mistress.
been a dog's body.
Cat's chillers, mate.
That's why with the
Right.
Crimson Hounds, it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
He's living out his fantasies of having a dog at home.
Doggo. Yeah. I used to have 2 retrievers, and now they're dead.
Oh
Yeah.
god, that's gone dark real quick.
That'll teach you. That'll teach you,
Damn,
won't it?
dude.
Yeah. Life
You
sucks, and then
haven't
you,
learned- you haven't
yeah,
learned
life sucks, and
anything.
then they die. Right. So the only thing I can think of is does your financier have anything that might point us in a starting direction?
Oh god, an air conditioner is necessary.
Well, no. Otherwise, my
You'd have
financier would
already
be
seen
pursuing
someone
it
else,
himself.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
What about upfront payments, fellas?
No. If
I
anything,
get
half
my
now, half later.
questions answered later, then I don't really care. I've got other current concerns aside from wealth. So
mhm.
Okay, so we'll mull this. I'll tell the gentleman to sort of leave it to us to mull over for the night, and to check back with us here at X bells in the morning.
I'm afraid I can't do that, he says.
Would.
That would be most unseemly. However, if you wish to take the job and you do you know where you're staying the evening?
Not yet.
what inn do we typically stay at?
Okay, well, the cockatrice. It's relatively cheap, relatively comfortable, relatively clean.
Not extravagant and
No.
Relatively my kind of place. Got it.
Yeah, relatively. Yep. So if you're naming that place, he'll basically say, "Oh, I know the place. If you were to hang out, and he says the third banister, da 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 da. It's got a porch, sort of thing, veranda. He says on the fourth baluster from the left. If you were to hang a piece of cloth of a red colour, I will know that you're interested and you're doing the job. And then in 2 weeks' time, someone will contact you back here
right.
for information and your money and to barter on anything else you may have discovered."
If
Right.
we do not complete the job in the timely fashion, you're not going to send.
Well, there is a time because it is time sensitive to my financier.
No, I understand that. No, what I'm asking is, if we don't finish it, you're not gonna send some boys to rough us up, are you? Because
Well, if you haven't
that's
finished
not
it,
the business.
no. If you haven't finished it, don't expect to be paid.
Okay.
But if you do find out other information that might be useful, you may get
More
the
money.
bonus money.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll mull it over. We'll discuss it.
Very well. He takes his leave. As you sort of mull it over, a fresh lot of drinks arrive at the table. No one's ordered these.
It's probably from him, guys.
Yep.
Let Vaki take it
So,
first, I say. From an
let's-
somewhere else.
I was about to say, does Vaki still have the Thompson thing though? I think he said something about not being quite so carefree with his existence.
Oh mate, if someone's starting to ask Vaki to sacrifice himself, you know, Vaki's going to start sketching out, guys. Come on.
He's flipped.
So, guys, I like the idea of money, but again, I think prime concern may be to figure out what happened. I say obviously to those currently.
Vaki, is Vaki actually there? Because Vaki's got something to add to the conversation.
He's there. Everyone
Vaki
bar
says-
Yeah.
Nod
Fear and
Fung.
Sid.
No, well,
Understanding
Lomax is there,
what
but
happened.
that's
Oh,
something.
Vaki says understanding what happens isn't going to help us. We need to know what we need to do next.
And I think that should be finding out what happened.
And I think
Where
that should
we
be
have enough
getting money.
currently.
Do we? For what, man? No, Vaki's in strong disagreement because we're unlikely to be able to fix whatever's gone wrong. So we may as well make the best of a bad situation.
Fixing isn't my concern, Vaki. It's why do I see you as Thompson, but you're a large, brave man,
Brave.
as opposed
Air
to
quotes.
my lovable son. I don't want to fix necessarily what may have gone wrong,
but
but to find out. I mean, we could be sideshows.
pragmatically speaking, finding out doesn't improve our situation. If we're not aiming to fix it, then knowing doesn't help.
Well, I'd like to know. I'd like to know why there are two different people sharing my body. That seems more cursed than anything. And before we go jumping and taking any jobs of a stranger, let's not forget what happened when we took a job from someone we knew and trusted.
Exactly. Strangers seem a better alternative.
He does have a
And
point.
that's when you see the Thompson logic
We're
where
not
it's
going
head.
into this with any false perceptions.
Hey,
We know this person is weird and possibly could be backstabbing us. The other
Come on.
one there, we kind of expected them not to.
But do you want to get backstabbed?
mate, you just got to con the con man.
Exactly.
Roll those dice. Let's go.
Keep an escape plan up your sleeve. Right. So I mean, it's it's purely up to you guys as to whether or not you want to.
Well, in Crimson Hound tradition, I vote we cast votes. I vote for a vote, lol. Let's cast votes. Of all present members, I guess.
I second the vote for vote.
Okay. Well, Nodfung will abstain because he's not here. And Lomax will abstain because he suddenly lost his ability to cast a vote. So that remains with the last 5 of you, and that's enough to actually form a majority.
Although, isn't Fia not with us right now, or are we waiting till we meet up?
Fia's there.
To vote?
She's just at the other end of the table.
Alright, so I ended up at the same place. I thought I went into an inn, but
Oh well, you would
alright,
have
I can
gone
meet
to the
her.
cockatrice, but you would have managed to walk back at some stage. Check the rest
Oh
of
yeah, I
the group
suppose
are here.
it was hours later. Hey, yeah. That's right. All right, so Fia's great. Well, Fia sidles up to the table and says, even though there's a couple, it seems like there's more than one person in our bodies. It's unlikely that we're going to be able to find out why that is, just by following the pursuit of that. Like, we don't have any leads whatsoever.
Point
So
Vaki.
I vote that we take this job and try to find out what's happening with our bodies in the meantime, you know, in the background, because we need money, we need, you know, we need lodgings, we need to continue our lives in some way. So I guess that's a vote, Vaki.
I'm not saying this has to be a group effort. I'm not saying we should make it a prime concern. What I am saying is, if this man possesses the seemingly abundant knowledge that he has in his super secret pool club,
Then why would he be asking us to find out something for him?
Well, Vaki, yeah,
we could just be getting scammed. I mean,
it could be getting scanned, but
It could
honestly,
be a trap. We could have.
there's no real situation where he could scam us. Like, he's just asking us to go and find out information. There's no real con in that. The biggest con is that we bring him back false information and scam him.
What if we're walking into something that we don't want to be sticking our noses in? I'm all for taking the job. I mean, I love jobs.
I think simplify the vote, guys. It's take the job or don't take the job. It's one for the job.
I mean, let's put it this way: it's the equivalent of 10 gold pieces.
What? Again, I'm
It's
saying.
a small fortune.
Yep, and I want to understand why the dragon attacked the town anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's curious.
I'd like to
cat.
know who this player is that essentially is gained the ire of either a major evil creature, or why does that evil creature suddenly decided to take it out of its normal way to come and pick on one person?
Have we asked anyone whether dragons have been sighted here lately?
No,
We knew that, like,
but you know that they
that the dragon is
I mean,
the
the black.
swamp.
There is knowledge that there are black dragon or dragons in the swamp, but it doesn't tend to. I mean, it would be over 40-50 years since the last actual dragon flight, and dragon flights usually include like a significant number of dragons. A single dragon just doesn't quite add up.
Speaking of, in which direction did that dragon bugger off?
Towards
Yeah, I was
the
wondering
swamp.
that.
Sorry, north.
Towards the swamp.
Right.
Back to the swamp.
Swampwood. Got it.
Yep.
Well, as far as I can tell, we have no obligation to the job, even if we quote-unquote accept it.
That way.
So, I mean, there's no real issue with accepting it and then not following through with it if it seems too dangerous.
He hasn't offered anything up front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So it's our worthless man hours that's at risk.
I mean, it's theoretically, even if we were to do something else, it's in our best interest to take the job, because we could stumble into the information we need while doing something else and be able to complete both jobs.
Pragmatic to the max. I am firmly in agreement. That's 2 for take the job.
But,
Yeah,
hey,
I vote take the job.
I
That's
voted for
my.
I'm all ready for take the job and find out about why there's a bloody dragon that's either A, taking orders from someone, or B, deciding it upon themselves to screw over
The Crimson Hounds are in agreement then.
Yep.
Scary.
I mean, woof woof.
Are we? Rightio.
That's right. So I suppose our next thing is to decide exactly where we want to start with this investigation. Do we
well,
start
it's getting
in the
close to
here,
the
or...
tavern closing.
Yeah, so we'll head back to the Cockatrice.
Pay for your...
is it the common room sort of only tavern, or is it a...
Common rooms, separate rooms, larger group rooms.
Right,
so
now
separate
by
rooms,
larger group rooms, are you talking about...
Separate rooms would be costing you 2 silver pieces, that's with breakfast and dinner, per day. Large group rooms would cost around about 7 silver, and common room would cost you around about 3 copper.
Right, so the big question is, does the single room come with some kind of bathing access, or...
A basin. The only one that wouldn't have a basin and water in it would be the common room. All the common room gives you is a place to sleep, and it's warm and dry.
Is there a public bathing type option?
People can go into the ocean, to the sea if they want to.
Okay. Yep. So there isn't like a big pool house or something? Or a bathing house?
Not in this area, no.
I'm getting deja vu.
This White Castle, this ain't.
Yeah.
Right.
So imagine this area sort of, it's more for workers, for merchants or people who are employed by merchants. It's more sort of that sort of type of culture, if you like. You're actually outside of the walls of the city here on the docklands. Sorry, you were going to say?
I was going to say I'm just going to take a single room because I have some praying to do.
Okay.
Fia Fia grabbed a single room before when she went there.
Yep, that's fine.
And she offers to share it with Rosetta's character. What's your name now, Rosetta?
It's still Rosetta.
That's still Rosetta? Oh, excellent. All right. She offers to share it with you. Well, it's only a single room, so it's one bed though. Yeah, no.
That's all good. Wait, who's offering here?
Fia.
What's your character name?
And Vaki.
Somehow I don't think Vaki's going to get in there.
Not going to happen.
Vaki's going to end up tied up to a chair in the corner.
Facing the wall.
Yeah. Vaki's into that.
Oh no.
Blindfolded with a dagger stuck near his genitals.
He's really into that. Okay. Rightio.
At which point, Melody will get a private room of her own.
Well, I'll leave it to you guys to take the private rooms or whatever you're going to do. Is anyone just paying for a common room? Which is
Vaki's going to pay for a common room.
Okay.
I'll pay a private room for him.
Shades of...
Jeez, that's friggin' like...
He'll take care of my baby boy.
Okay.
No. Vaki's very much into this too. Vaki. Vaki's very grateful.
Rightio. And we'll decide what Lomax does anyway later on. And when Not Fun turns up, he knows that to turn up at the Cockatrice, if at all. So you find your rooms. You can meet in the tap room.
Red banner, handkerchief / piece of clothing to the third
point of time.
There's a piece of red cloth.
The spot.
Yep. So are you talking that night before you go to sleep, or are you just gonna go to sleep and then meet in the morning?
No, so talking that night. So where do we think, or where does anybody think that we should begin with this? Like the obvious places would be to try and find out more about the Who.
The Herald, you mate. The heraldry.
Finding out more about the boat is a good idea for starters. Find out exactly who owned it. Sorry, I'm not remembering correctly. Did a couple of people get off the boat before it got sunk?
No.
No one at all?
It was
They've
leaving.
not
apparently.
identified anyone. No, it was coming in. It was coming in. Wasn't leaving.
I thought like a couple of people might have jumped off. Well, we never know, but it might be worth looking into.
Yeah.
Could always take a look at the wreck itself. I'm quite the swimmer.
Really?
Which is really unusual for a dwarf.
Yeah, surprising. I
Yeah.
live next to a dock, pretty much.
Yeah.
I live next to the ocean. I have to learn how to swim.
Right. Oh, that's all cool.
Beyond that, it might be good to ask around on the sly about who the hell asked us to do this job. Find out a bit more about him, perhaps.
I strongly disagree. How does that help us?
I'm with Floppy on that one. I don't think.
If they find out what we're asking him to help them.
I feel like, pragmatically, there's no benefit in that. Getting information gives us at least some bartering power. If they want to do us harm, they'll do us harm, whether or not we know about it.
Target on us.
Well,
Get off.
alright.
Alright, so we're gonna basically see in the morning, so our dwarf, we're gonna tie a rock to and throw him to the bottom of the bloody docks.
Okay.
And
Sounds good.
then you can just float back up. One of us will try, and does anyone here actually have anything charismatic about them now? Is
No.
anyone particularly sly in that option? No? Okay, fine. So there's going to be, hopefully, someone I was thinking could try and bribe a scribe or something like that at the harbour masters to, see if they knew exactly the who, the what, the where, the why, and the how of that boat. Or at least what the official statement was, not the unofficial contents of the ship.
You have that womanly charm. Go ahead.
I used to. Now all I've got is, being an elf and,
Does this
a pair of tits. But,
does this
that's what I encountered there.
does this nation have embassies of any sort for the nation that boat seems to have come from?
We're all the same nation. All the Empire of KAM.
Well, you're the Empire of KAM, but there is some, it depends whether you're talking about a nation that's been subsumed into KAM, or whether it's a city-state, or whether it's fully integrated and is KAM. You've got lots of different versions of things.
What about that?
Around the Sea of
whether-
Salat is typically more city-state sort of style things. They are members of KAM, but there's a bit of competition between cities.
Do we have any representative from that northern city?
Yeah, they'd have to have representatives in like merchant sort of in the areas of merchants that are organising trade and stuff.
I think that's where we start, and we see if we can find out more about the heraldry to get a second step going on.
Guild might know.
It's like a murder investigation. You got to find out about the victim if you want to track down that killer. Unless it was random, in which case we're screwed. Vaki out.
Didn't seem very random.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There is no such thing as random.
Except for the dice.
Essentially.
All good? Okay, so do you settle down after you sort of talked about that, or is there any other ideas you want to consider before you all head off to Nod?
I go to my room to pray.
Okay.
My axe father. Some form of guidance.
Did I heal or help out anyone important at the docks?
You helped to heal anyone who you helped or healed was important. Remember, your culture, your faith is different here. A little bit.
Is there still like acid smouldering around the city, burning things up, or has it been cleaned away?
You'd have to go down to the docks to see. Lincoln?
I was wondering if there was someone actually important that had been injured. Like, was there injured dock workers? Was there injured
There's a whole lot of injured
guys
people that you would
walking around
have
with
taken.
Clipboards. Yep.
There were probably what they call station masters, which is a person who looks after, on a shift, a peer.
You're very dark.
So, in all likelihood, you could very well have actually helped a station master. You probably wouldn't have helped the harbour master or anything like that because they more than likely wouldn't have been there.
Inside.
Yep. You know, unless it's something particularly special. But yeah, so it's in all probability it's probably dock hands, other merchants, and people that they've got in their employ travelling to or about to leave the city, and probably the highest you're going to find there is a station master. Probably.
That's actually good. So if I can find out who station master was on, or just off the dock hands, I'll go down there and have a chat round. Possibly talk to the guards as well, that I had followed, if I can track them down. Because, well, guards wouldn't have been injured.
Well, the guards didn't arrive until the creature flew off, but yep, well, that's in the morning, but yep, that's okay. Yep. Okay, so is there anything else, guys, or are you going to go off to the land of Nod now, and then we'll move on to the morning? Nothing else? Cool. No?
Unless Nod...
Yeah, no, hey, Nod Funk's here.
Do the, yeah, I was about to say, he's in Roll20, I don't know if he's actually in Call. Yeah, he is.
Thea might just go for a brisk walk down the docks.
Checking for a brisk walk and seeing whether or not we can locate anything in the dark.
And just see if anyone, see if anyone's milling about at the docks, you know, discussing what happened. Very briefly, though. Just sort of quick there and back, then go to sleep, pretty much. Just trying to clear her mind as well, so.
Go get Sissy now and make her happy, come on.
So...
Who's our, I think Fear, isn't it?
Pardon?
Fear?
Fear's one of our wizards.
She's the wizard.
And the other one is...
the mage.
Frick. Do either of them... Like, I hate to ask you because I don't know what the spells are off the top of my head. Either of them know light. Because of course,
unfortunately,
it will make it easier for Fulmic with his current.
Sorry, cut out.
Name is.
Yeah. He, Melody was asking if either of you had the light spell.
Not memorized. Can I burn to get spells in this? Like burn health?
Nope.
In which case, no.
Fear does not have light.
That would be for the morning anyway. Obviously, at the bottom of the, I hate to actually say it would be best if we could do it in the real early hours of the morning when it's dark. You know, because obviously in daylight everyone's going to see it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And if we had a light spell for him to be able to, you know, palm and use while he was swimming around inside the ship, at least he's less likely to get lost and he can see more.
No go.
I could memorize one. Well,
if you memorize it now, like if it's not too late in the evening, then we could get up in the real early hours in the morning and start.
They would have done these spells at the beginning of the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could ask in on the morrow.
Okay, so if there's no other planning, it's night time. Boom. And you guys are in the Cockatrice.
The Cockatrice.
And I'm going to turn it over to the morning. So in the morning, you wake up relatively early-ish. There's some breakfast to be had. You move yourselves down to the docks if that's where you're going. So first of all, Sister Rosita. Nope, that's wrong. What is your charisma?
My charisma is 9.
No bonus, no penalty. Okay. Most people are too busy and they don't really have time to talk to you. You get the cold shoulder a hell of a lot, trying to find any information out.
Is this at night time or the next day, sorry?
This is the early morning. So the other thing is, priest and wizard, magic user, I need to know what spells you're going to memorize for the day.
That's what I've been going through for the past bit.
Cool.
Just finding those.
I'm gonna try grab Formic, by the way, before he heads off anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
So, yeah.
I am grabbed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try Formic. I think we should go check out that heraldry if no one else is doing that. We should go find someone who represents. What's the name of the northeastern-ish town?
Wait, I'm diving.
Calanthra.
We should go find if we can find anyone from Talanthra who would potentially go to tell us the
Calanthra.
Calanthra, sorry.
Calanthra. Yep.
I was gonna go for a dip in the ship.
Mate, we can swim when we're dead, friend.
No. It's not how that works. You float.
Well, that's what I'm doing anyway, and I'm strongly hoping Formic comes with. We've had some muscle, and I'm bringing a big bag of coins with me.
Okay. Well.
I mean, I'm always happy to go do that with you.
Oh, is that Rosetta? Sweetheart.
No, Melody.
Damn it!
Melody.
Even sweeter hearter. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Back 1 second.
Yeah.
Alright, Formic, feel free to take your swim, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that Formic is heading down with Rosetta and Fear down to the docks to this early morning swim. Yep.
For this day, I would have 2 cure lights. 2 cure lights, create lights, and a bless. My first level.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the right amount.
Sorry, guys.
Back there. 4.
Mm-hmm.
4. For second level, I will have chant, old person, and I've got one more that I haven't decided on yet.
Yep. Okay. I'll take on Melody and Vaki. So the easiest way to do this would be just to talk to some more of the deckhands and that sort of stuff.
I was about to say deckhands.
Yep,
Yeah.
deckhands. I've got. Wait, let me just check how many coins I've brought with me.
Mm-hmm.
Of varying kinds. So I'm going to be greasing a few hands with a few silver coins.
Whoa.
Silver. Oh my god.
That doesn't get us some answers.
Okay.
Or suspicion.
Yeah. Wow. You're handing out a hell of a lot of money, but
Oh
that's
yeah, I said a
okay.
few. Let's settle down. Let's see how this goes first.
Uh-huh. So what are you asking?
First, kind of looking for someone who looks like they may be on shore leave or something. Maybe first.
I'm not sure how you could determine that, but
Yeah, no, sorry. Actually, let's go to a harbour master, not the harbour master, the one below him. What was he? They?
Station master.
Let's look for a station master. And
Yep, you can easily see one of them because they're usually the guy with some good clothing, a hat on, and usually ordering everybody around. There's one guy barking orders all over the place.
Salutations, friends, I'll say, on the way up.
You catch him in mid-sentence and he continues the command. Yep.
Yeah, I'll have more the dockhands that might be sort of, wondering about that, might be on break or anything like that. They're just laxing back, not the ones that are actually heaving shit around.
Mm-hmm.
Asking questions about sort of yesterday's thing, particularly if they had heard rumours of anyone that had gotten off the boat prior to the attack. Holy crap, what an attack it was. What do they think caused it? Why only that one boat? Whose boat was it? Did anyone know? And again, if anyone sort of seems to look like they're giving me some answers, I'll grease their palm with sort of.
Jesus, how long are you holding these dockhands up for?
Yeah, you get a cold shoulder basically. Yeah. No, there is no break here. They're all running around like ants. You get nothing.
I know that they only make coppers in a sort of a day or something. So, again, I'll
coppers?
be sort of.
You mean tin?
No, copper. Oh, they only make tin in a day.
Copper is the
because I was about to say, because
silver.
I'm gonna be sort of rolling a few silvers across my knuckles as I converse with them.
Mm-hmm.
The old dexterity.
Well, at the moment you're getting no results. However, Vaki, you've interrupted this guy in mid. He sort of finishes off and says, "Yes, what can I do for you, sir?"
So I'm looking for a business opportunity, and I'm hoping I could get your assistance. And at that point, I'll be jingling a bad coin around.
He quickly turns and yells out some sort of instructions. You don't quite know what the terminology is.
Yeah,
Says, "I've only got a few moments, sir."
I just need to know. Do you know where I can get in touch with some fine gentlemen from the town of? I'm going to say Kalamsav. Can you please help me with that one word? I'm retarded. Kalanthra. I need to find some, well-off gentleman from Kalanthra to
He shoots you a look of disbelief. He says, "What am I? A marriage maker or something?" "No, sir, I cannot."
At that point, I'll pull out 5 silver coins and like a gentle offer of potential for him.
"I couldn't take your money in good faith, sir, because I wouldn't know where to start."
How about just a local for 1 silver coin then? Just somebody from the area.
"I don't know. I'm not a socialite. I don't keep track of everybody who comes and goes."
Good day, sir, then. Walk off sadly.
Right. Yeah.
Isn't that his job to keep track of everyone, guys? Or is that the harbour master?
No, station masters, you'll eventually find out what their job is. Keep going.
Alright, well, I'm giving up.
Okay, after one try. Okay. Brilliant, we'll go back to the guys who are doing the dip dive thing.
Steve, how far is it known roughly where the dragon lives and how far away it is?
Well, it's known to live in this. Well, it's believed to live in the swamp, and the swamp is roughly 250 miles away.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's a boat trip, a couple of days boat trip.
Because I have a stupid idea.
It sounds terrible.
I have speak with animals. We could go ask the dragon.
Dragons aren't animals, are they?
Dragons usually speak common, most of them.
So
okay. Of course, none of you are 4th level or above, so all of you would still be affected by dragon fear.
Yeah.
Also, the dragon probably might be offended when you speak to it like a dog.
Basically, the thought of approaching a dragon scares the shit out of all of us right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vaki's not in for that. No, yeah.
Okay, so...
Is there a Harbour's Master's office somewhere?
There is.
In the vicinity? There is.
Yeah.
Fia's going to go for a sort of quiet walk there, and what's the situation? Are there people bustling about, or?
There are people moving around, but by the actual Harbour Master's offices, there are guards posted on doors.
Alrighty. Fia's going to sort of slink into an alley, somewhere out of sight. Cast
you probably
invisibility.
wouldn't go into an alley, there'd probably be just in between different cargoes. Yep.
Anywhere out of sight, long enough to cast invisibility.
Then she's going to... What materials did you use, my friend?
I used an eyelash encased in Arabic gum. Don't worry, I've got plenty on me. Plenty on me to disappear out of danger.
So,
yeah.
in that, also in saying that, I've actually found one of my best dragons. All of the material costs and weights of all of the spell items that you need to cast spells with. So we'll consult that at some other stage.
Alrighty, cool. No worries.
So we'll be able to tell exactly how much it costs and how much it weighs.
Yep. I gotta remember how much I took away for each one now. Yep. Or maybe we didn't do that yet. It's possible.
No, not yet. But
alrighty.
In the future.
Yeah, because you said I gotta buy fine sand as well.
Yep.
Alrighty, cool. She's basically gonna slink up very quietly after casting it and just sort of plant herself somewhere quiet where people wouldn't bump into, and just sort of sit there and listen for a couple of hours maybe. See what she.
How long does your spell last for?
Lasts until I attack or do something offensive of some kind, which I thought was pretty
something
cool,
that gives them away.
Something that gives me away. She's obviously being very careful not to be heard. Where is it?
The duration.
Yeah. Thus, the spellcaster or recipient could open doors, talk, eat, climb stairs, etc. But if any form of attack is made, the invisible creature immediately becomes visible. Yeah. Which I thought
What a
was quite
broken
powerful.
info gathering spell.
It is. It is such a broken spell in first and second
Yeah.
edition. Kind of like Sleep
Seems
was.
pretty broke. Seems pretty broke. You can implement other rules if you want, but I mean, it's pretty handy. I mean, it's not like I'm going to use it to do anything too crazy. Sitting there quietly without moving for a while, you know. Like, I wouldn't even really try to open doors with it or anything like that. Like, chances are someone's going to see a door magically open and, you know.
Okay. So the only thing
But
that happens in a couple of hours would be that another guard, you're not quite sure what their rank is, but they seem to be different, come and check in with the guards and ask for just a brief report. And you've seen some of this, that they've had to move people on. They've had several requests by several women about who's alive with that. They sent her on to another location where they've got lists of people that they're aware of missing or not shown up yet. And apart from that, they don't report anything else unusual because they haven't seen anything else unusual.
So nothing about the nights before. No one's talking gossip about what happened the night before. No mention of dragons whatsoever.
No.
Mate, these are very, very professional guards. That's what I walk away thinking. All right. Yeah. All right. I slink away then. What can I say?
Back to
Guards are professional, mate.
Yep. Back to Folmic and Rosetta. What are you doing?
I'm removing some of my gear. Obviously, I'm holding onto my dagger to get ready for a nice cold dip.
Right.
Okay, Rosetta, don't let anybody take my stuff.
Yep. Hold up a second. I'm just looking up what lights is. Light will still help during the day.
Also,
dive down.
When it's back around to me, Vaki's thought of his next plan of attack. Took him a while, but he's there.
Okay.
Let's see. Duration is 6 turns plus 1 turn per level.
So 90 minutes.
Well, that's hopefully more than enough time.
If you can hold your breath for 90 minutes, you're doing very, very well.
We'll find out what that limit is here.
So I'll pick up a pebble or something like that, or unless he's carrying something that he'd rather have it on.
My dagger.
Cool. So I'll put it on that, as long as he can sheath it or something so it's not glaringly bright.
Yeah, I can sheath it while I hop in.
While you're swimming out there, so we don't want to attract too much attention. And his pile of clothes on the docks, I will just pick them up in a sack and sit that over my shoulder.
I jump in.
Splash. It's cold, it's wet, and it's if you're doing this in the early hours of the morning, it's quite dark. You're going to have to pull out your dagger pretty quickly.
Okay. Then I would pull it out, and since I don't have a whole lot of information, make a first pass to see if I can locate the sunken ship.
Okay.
Or any semblance giving away that there'd be a ship, such as air pockets bubbling up and whatnot.
And I'll move away from the edge so I'm not blatantly obvious that I'm waiting for him.
Okay, so the first thing you notice as you're swimming is you sort of go along the pier, and you notice that there's certain parts of the pier that seem to have been eaten into. You can see off in the distance a sort of a bulky, you're also swimming past some ships, past around their hulls, and you can sort of see lying ahead of you in the murkiness a sort of what you take to be a ship-like substructure.
Alright, I'd move toward it, try to position myself above it as well as I can, and dive straight down, dagger out.
Right.
Do I notice anything, since I do have infravision, do I notice anything like unseeming moving around me or toward me?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Alright, then I just go straight for the ship.
Okay, you get to within around about 20 feet of the ship, and you've got to come up for air.
Oof. Okay, well, I go back up. Shit.
Okay, and that's when the guards who are standing guard above the ship on the dock have got spears and a couple of bows pointed at you, saying, what do you think you're doing?
Some investigating.
On
Don't
whose
tell him what you're
authority?
doing. Don't tell him, no.
On whose authority?
My own.
You're...
He's a
Okay,
curious cat.
at the moment this is the scene of an investigation, therefore no one is allowed to near it unless you have authority. You don't. You've got two choices, my friend. Stay in the water and become a porcupine, or get out.
Well, I'm liking the latter choice. That seems more appropriate, especially because, you know, I'm little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm friendly. You know, friendly. I kind of, I guess, swim back over. I sheath the dagger and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Can I give a hand?
So they pull you up and they give you a student talking to. They can obviously see you're not you haven't gone down to pirate anything. They give you a very sternly worded warning if they catch you around here again, especially if they catch you with anything that's been taken that's not yours. You'll find the full force of the law in effect.
I wasn't trying to pilfer.
You got away with it, man.
This is dirty.
Now's your chance.
But I do have a question. If I were looking to get the authority to investigate, you see, I am under the impression that I might or might not have had family on that ship, and I'm just curious to see if there'd be any remains. No, you know how dwarves are with their,
Right, then if that's the case, you need to go see Hakim. He's the station master up there.
Hey.
Okay. Thank you very much. I go back to Rosetta and I guess redress and gather up my equipment. I got in trouble.
Why do you think I was hiding over here?
That's okay.
So you could take the heat.
Yeah, I didn't really get in trouble, but there is a station master we can speak to about getting authority to investigate the wreck on our own time. I kind of lied and said I probably had family on the ship, so there's that. Also, I can't reach the ship. That I should have started with that. I probably should have started with that. I can't reach it. I can't hold my breath long enough, so I don't know what we'll do about that.
Send you down on the
Well,
barrel.
you could. It's just that you were swimming all that way underwater. You just ran out of breath.
Yeah. If you're going straight down, maybe.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I swear. Oh.
If you
I
listen
may have
to the
missed-
description, you didn't attack it straight away,
Yeah.
head on, because you couldn't have got there. The
Okay.
guards would have stopped you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so probably should speak to the man in charge.
Harkham.
The heart.
Okay.
So
He's pretty obvious to pick out. He's a guy who's got a bandage across his head. He's directing a whole lot of people. He's also actually he's directing several guards. And you sort of arrive there. The guards already walked off. He says, "So, I've just been told you've been in the water near the wreck."
yeah, I'm looking for potentially lost family.
Yeah, well, I can tell you now, there were no dwarves on that ship.
Were there not?
No.
Huh.
Before we go any further, I must have missed you yesterday. Are you injured?
Well, I don't usually take to wearing a bandage across my forehead, do I?
True. Would you like me to heal you?
I'm fine, thank you. We've got a lot of work to do here, so unless you're here to offer some sort of work, no, I don't need anything else. And then he goes off and mutters something about, you hear something about, wish the bloody harbour master was here, but as soon as we find him, the better.
The harbour master's missing?
He sort of looks back at you and says, what are you eavesdropping on me?
No, you just kind of muttered to yourself. It seemed like an invitation to ask.
I'll give you an invitation. See that crate over there? If you can get it and put it over there by yourself, I'll talk to you some more. But I'm not paying you. He points at you.
Okay. I'll do that, but also I'll raise something else in terms of you getting paid, as my concerns lie with the sunken ship. Fuck. I mean, I'll give you like 2 gold pieces. Just let me.
2 silver.
Fuck!
No, I'll give you 2
gold pieces.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You have 2 gold?
They'll bend anyone.
There's some side investigations that a certain separate party is interested in with the ship. You know, I'm gonna come to you man to man. I'll move your box, but you can have your guards watch me. Make sure don't go for anything.
Fuck your box.
No. Just, I mean, two gold for 10 gold. I mean, come on. It's just the logic checks out.
The equivalent of 10 gold.
But
so you're offering him 20 silver pieces essentially.
Yeah, we're getting paid 100 silver pieces, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm losing out on 2, making 8. Technically. Oh wait, no. Never mind. Shit. Anyway, yeah. So is that a? Yeah, you can have your guards watch me. I don't want to take anything from the ship. I'm more so looking for information.
He says, I don't have time to natter a day, even if you are offering me 2 gold pieces.
Whoa.
What is it you need? I need stuff worked on. Okay? We are very shortly gonna be here with the city investigator, and I need everything clean. It's not my bloody fault some dragon decides to come down and wipe out the bloody ship.
I just settle down.
Oh, we want to know who's ship.
Oh yeah, I'll be the one blamed. Don't worry, I was on duty.
Well, they shouldn't blame you for a dragon attack. That's...
No, they'll blame me for the loss of that ship and everyone on board.
Were you supposed to stop the dragon yourself?
Do you know what the duties of a station master is? Is to ensure the safety of everyone on his pier.
Not to stop a dragon, though. I mean, I didn't really see the guards doing all too much for it, but... Look, I'll move your box. Take the gold piece for your trouble, man. I
may be needing it.
If you know, they should go easy on you. Like, that's messed up, but I'm just gonna go move your box, man. I feel bad for you.
By the way, is 150 silver 15 gold, or is that 1.5 gold? And we're gonna get
15.
10 silver equals 1 gold.
And we're gonna get 150 silver each for this.
Yep.
Oh Jesus! Let's. Varky's just done the maths and he's willing to redouble his efforts, but.
You've been given an offer of a lot of money, and that's each, not for the whole group.
Yeah.
I give him a gold and I go ahead and move his box for him.
Well, eventually you do, yep.
Eventually, yeah.
By the time you return to him, he's shouting orders to other people. But anyway, you find a moment to try to interrupt him.
So, yeah, I moved your box. I'm kind of strong. Is there absolutely no way I can get permission from you to just investigate the ship itself?
I don't have permission for anyone to go near the ship. I can't give that permission.
The guards told me to talk to you.
Yeah, the guy told me he wanted to know if there were any dwarves on the ship. Well, there's none.
Okay, Rosetta, you may want to talk to him. I'm starting to get a little short.
Do you know whose ship it was?
Of course I know whose bloody ship it was.
Do you mind telling us?
It was the ship for the House Khalid, under the captain of Terran's Khalid. Out of Kalanthra.
Ship for the House Khalid under the...
Captainhood of Terran's Khalid. So you can understand now perhaps why shit's going to hit the fan all the way from all sideways from Sunday.
Oh hell yes.
Right, well if you've got nothing else that you can do for me or ask me to hold me up, I need to get on to my job.
The only other question I have is, do you possibly know what they might have been transporting that would have pissed off a dragon? Or what is their normal transporting?
There is no normal. This was their first foray into the harbour.
Oh. Cool. In which case, is there anything that you can that we can help you out with? We may as well give you a hand, so thank you for your time.
Well, he puts you guys to work moving stuff.
And as we're walking away, I was like, we'll hang around for the investigation. They're showing up soon.
Right. So, Fia, you've been off walking somewhere. Where are you?
I guess I'm just walking back down to the docks because I know they were doing the diving test there.
Yep.
So at what point do I get there after they finish helping, or
a wee while
while they're sweating?
Probably. Yep.
Yeah. All right. As they're sweating, I guess I walk up and happily say hello.
Are you visible now?
Yeah, I'm visible now.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, I already said it. Yeah, I'm visible now.
Right, just asking.
I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna push it that far. Like,
Rightio, okay.
It's already pretty broken. So.
Rightio. So
yeah.
Just back up. Varric and Melody, what are you doing?
So after having no success with the dock hands or anything like that, my next move would have been to try again the quartermaster and see whether or not.
The harbour master.
Sorry, the harbour master.
No, no one seems to know. That's not. He's not available right now.
He's not available. Like again, the place is boarded up.
Yep. And the guards
I think I'll hit one of the. I'll just pick the nearest station master and, inquire as to why the harbour master is not available.
He just gives you a really frustrated look and says, "Listen here, lassie. Unless you've got really important business like right now, I can't talk to you. Unless you represent the investigator's office, I won't talk to you."
Ooh. Okay.
I quietly mentioned to the party what I did in the meantime, and that Gus seemed extremely professional, but that in the future, if I need to sit somewhere invisible and listen to stuff, I'm all for it.
Right.
Okay. So I'll leave this poor schlep alone because he is clearly on the, thing, and start wandering back towards where we knew Fulmick, and then we're doing the dive.
Okay. Well, you'll be seeing them all working. Varric.
Vaki.
Vaki, sorry. Varric.
Alright, Vaki got a bit depressed over his last encounter, so he's decided to change his approach, and I'm going to go look for the kind of inn where guys with shore leave would be drinking.
Right. You've really got this thing for sailors, haven't you? Okay. Rightio, you pick one of the taverns on the, basically on the dock.
Oh, and I walk in and just start drinking and making merry, in all honesty, and being very generous with drinks around the bar.
Okay.
But
yes.
I do want to be ordering the most watered down wine for myself possible, but thoroughly enjoying it.
Rightio. Okay. What are you doing then?
After I've been making merry, I'm going to be trying to just like basically mingle with what it seems to be sailors on shore leave. There must be some there, surely. Otherwise,
there are some people from ships and stuff. Yeah.
I'm looking for the more salty dog, sea legs, given wrinkly guys, peg leg, hook hand, all that stuff.
Right.
And I want to start asking them where they've been. See if they're chatty. I'll buy them drinks, strong wine.
Right. They talk about all their various adventures. Yeah. They've been all over the Sea of Salat.
Does anyone in particular have any good things to say about, or say they've had any travels to? Jesus Christ! I've been drinking the wine. Kalanthera. Yeah. Anyone speaking about Kalanthera? I'm going to be trying to steer the conversation in that direction.
They're a weird bunch. They hold to themselves. They don't tend to. You only go there if you really need to. And they've got a stranglehold on a lot of the produce that comes up and down from the mighty KAM.
Oh. I'll say just offhandedly, acting like a man of the world, was that not a Kalanthari flag that I seen in the dock yesterday? And see if anyone kind of latches onto that conversation topic. Drinks all round while I'm at it.
Yeah, most of them don't know the flag, but one of them says, well, the rumour is it was a Kalanthari ship that went down, so we're all for that.
Down.
So I'll basically just, at this point, keep trying to drink in and make merry and getting more tidbits about Kalanthari, honestly. Why does people not like them? Trying to get specific encounters and stuff.
Well, but you're getting the same message that they don't seem to be overly friendly.
Does it seem like they've put people out of work?
No, they once produce gets to Kalanthari, they tend to strangle you a little bit, because they are the only place that you can land at the moment there, to then travel to the river to get your produce down the river, or receive produce up on the river.
So they've bottlenecked the market, have they? I say, stroking my non-existent beard. Buy my salty sea dogs some more strongest wine I can afford, silver a piece or something. This place doesn't have that, would it?
No.
That's the finest of the worst wine that's on offer.
Okay.
And then I'm going to basically make my way out and start looking for my comrades.
Okay.
Still got my legs with me because I've been drinking watered down stuff, yeah?
Okay, that's all fine. So, sorry, Sid, you're way back in the place watching the residents.
Yeah, I'll do my best, like I guess I am legitimately a hobo.
Yep.
And just sit on like arms for the poor.
Yep. Okay. So as soon as you encounter guards, they tend to move you on, even though you're not that badly dressed. They tend to move you on. They remind you that it's not a done thing to do that sort of thing in this neighbourhood, and they direct you to one of the churches.
Sorry, so did you say done thing or dumb thing?
Not a done, D-O-N-E.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not seemly to see beggars in this area.
Yeah. I know that.
Yeah, very, very sort of, toffee nosed. Where are you heading?
I will move and slink away like I am nothing.
Okay. Audio. Can you give me a wisdom check, please? Just a D20 roll, and you're just saving against your wisdom or less.
No, definitely
Unless
not.
you're incredibly wise. No. Okay. Right. Okay. Is there anything else you're doing? So just so you know, the group tend to gravitate towards the Cockatrice, which is an inn that they usually stay at. Relatively cheap, relatively quiet, relatively clean, and all that sort of stuff. Relatively, yeah.
Relatively near.
Relatively on the dock front.
You can steal a lot of things on the dock front.
Mm-hmm.
Go there.
What you have noticed there seems to be a hell of a lot more guard presence in the area that you're leaving, and as you sort of move through towards a more sort of central travel way, guards and various officials seem to be making their way towards the docklands themselves, and you do actually see, before of course you sort of shy away because you don't want to be under the gaze of these people, the investigators
They're like the Inquisition, or
well, they have those powers should they feel they need to use them.
Yeah, I'll stay away from them. If they were regular guards, I want the guards to see me.
Yeah.
I want the guards to think that I'm a scum lowlife.
Okay. Rightio.
Think.
Yeah, most people sort of get pushed away from these guys who are travelling in some sort of open, nice sort of carriage sort of thing, moving down towards the, as I said, to the docklands. Once they leave, it's just you, the guards, and the other people, but you are aware, because you've been to this place before, the guards, there seems to be more guards here. So the thought might enter your head that if there's more guards here, there might be less guards elsewhere, that you might be a bit more lucky.
Mm-hmm, like the dock.
Probably crawling with guards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like you could move into perhaps so there's an artisan section, there would be like a entertainment section. Most of that would typically be shut at this hour of the day.
And too many people. Well,
Yeah.
No, actually, there wouldn't be that many people.
No.
What's the hour? It's like nighttime.
For you, unless you've gone back to the inn, yeah, you're still at the night before, so you'd be
No.
getting.
I would have just waited there until whatever.
Okay. Yeah, so it would have been, you know, roughly 10 o'clock at night by the time you're moving. So actually in that case the entertainment area, no, because then you wouldn't have got past the, I'm talking about the day after. You do notice there's lots of guards, but there's no Inquisition type people. But you do see a couple of, so scratch the others, what you do see is a couple of messenger runners. And they seem to be moving with some guards that are like running really fast with them. You get a couple of those moving up and down the central lines, and then you can sort of get into the entertainment area, which is live with lots of people. You hear lots of talk about the stuff that's happened down the docklands, about some sort of attack and the sinking of ships, and you know, many people was horribly scarred for life, and several people lost their lives, and some of the story, yeah, is probably a bit overblown. But there's lots of marks at the moment. But there's also, you can sort of see a few familiar, like, professioned individuals that you've come to know, or at least be aware of, in the area plying their trade as well.
Now, would this be the players or just people I've remembered?
More NPCs, anything, and just the circles you've moved in, and the people you're sort of aware of.
Yeah. There's Hobo and Nod.
Common scum.
Yeah.
Thieves, but we won't say that.
Vagabonds.
Procurers of other people's equipment.
Bombs.
So, as is usual, outside some of these places, there is the person who holds some of the food for people to smell and slightly test to as a way to get them in. So, you know, if you want to do a quick, you can always flick out your fork and snag some free food as you move through the crowd.
Well, I've still got. Oh no, I would have hidden that small fruit. But those messengers, they, you know, when the wind blows, Nod has to follow.
Okay, so you do end up following one. They actually go into the Inquisitor's chambers. There's another one though that heads off to, basically it would be the Magistra, which is more a branch of, like, they pronounce judgment and send people to jail or whatever, or to death or whatever, whereas the Inquisitors, although they do have the powers to summarily kill somebody if they feel that they're guilty, but the Inquisitors more are about finding information.
They ask the questions, the hard questions.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they employ all sorts of things to do
Tricks.
so. Yeah.
Items, tools.
And rock grubs if they're really, really vicious.
That's still cool. But yeah. Alright. Cool.
Yep. Are you doing anything else that night, or are you just wandering and just pilfering a little bit and just observing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep wandering. If I can, I'll probably try to steal at least some sort of coin or all food.
Yeah. The food part's pretty easy because, I mean, you're quick. You sort of dodge out, you grab it with your fork and you carry on sort of thing. And you sort of know the best places to sort of go to and that sort of stuff. Stealing, what's your percentage chances to pickpockets?
This is the one where I have to tell it in secret, or can I just...
No, you can tell me. It's okay.
45.
45. Okay, after a couple of close calls, you managed to pick on a particularly drunk gentleman who also has engaged some women of the night. So it's really easy to sidle up and say good evening and, you know, talk nicely, and then as you move past, just brush past and move on your merry little way. And from that little encounter, you pick up 6 tin pieces.
Some unfortunate one's gonna get grabbed.
Yep.
On the buttocks.
Okay. 6 tin pieces, 3 copper pieces.
6 tin.
3 copper, 1 silver piece. So that's not a bad taking.
More than what I used to have.
Yep. As the night starts to get a bit quieter, you know, you've gone past the midnight hour, so things do tend to quieten down a little bit. And it's sort of, you're aware that it's sort of the absolute quietest in about, you've got about another hour's worth of work if you want to just trade on the street, so to speak.
I will listen to the shadows.
Okay. Rightio. Well, just listening. So what's your chance of...
I do have that. Hear noise? 10.
Okay. Righto. You're not overhearing anyone's particular conversations, but you do hear some chatter that you'd probably mostly trust more than just the usual babble of all the public, because they're talking every now and then. They're talking in thieves' cant. So there is talk of the Black Dragon, Emberance RZ. So Emberance RZ is a known adult-aged Black Dragon. You would have if you can give me an intelligence check, please.
Let me just check. Yeah, I am under by 1.
Okay, so you do know a bit about this dragon. It's been about 40 years since it's ever gone on a dragon flight and attacked any city. It's said to be near a small village, the small village of KAM, and it's also said that the villagers there offer it a tithe which tends to keep it happy. So that would be the nearest human habitation near the dragon, and KAM is a small swamp village. Emberance is male. As far as people know, it has not yet found a mate or had children. But yeah, that's about it. You just got a name for the Black Dragon, and roughly its rough location. The other thing you talk about is you keep on hearing this one thing, the strange ship. You hear Khalid a lot, and you don't hear exactly what it's about, but it's something tied to the merchants coalition. That's all you sort of get before you sort of move on, because you don't want to make it too obvious. You're trying to overhear people and that sort of stuff. And something called the Black Sember, You're not sure what the hell that is because it's something that's really new to you. But yeah, and it seems to be tied to this coloured thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's sort of your night sort of thing. I don't know if you're staying on the street at night and risking that, or you're heading to the cockatrice to get into the common room or something.
Yeah, I'll try to sneak in to an inn or something.
To the
see if I can find like an empty room.
Okay, so you're going to be doing via the like climbing walls and going in through a window, or?
Yep.
Okay. What's your climb walls?
85.
Okay. Well, you've found a site. And what's your open locks?
35.
Yeah, you're not having any luck on this door, on this window. So if you want to do another climb, I can do another climb walls, but you might fall off, or you want to come down. There are several other windows that you can check to see if you can get through. It's just that this one is unlockable by you at the moment. I've got to say the inns are a relatively easy climb. You're actually getting a bonus on your climbing because they're dry. They're typically made of stone or wood, which is sort of rough on the exterior, so you've got a bit of extra grip. So it's not this is not like somebody who's oiled a tower to make it really difficult for you to climb up the outside.
How much would a common room cost? That's like
common room about 3 tin pieces.
Oh, yeah. I was hoping to keep those tin pieces, but guess I'll just pay for the room.
Okay. So do you go to the cockatrice, or you find some other place?
If it's the closest place, yeah, sure.
Oh, there'll be other places that are closer.
No. Outside of that's where the other place. Is there another reason why I should be there?
Well, there is another one that you personally use. Just as it's a location for people of your profession to.
Sorry, quick question.
Yep.
Is Sid's character supposed to be part of our company, or is he like his own thing?
No, he's part of your company. He's just gone off on something.
Fucking hard to get back.
So, do you want to use the serpent's venom, or do you want to go back to the cockatrice?
I'll go back to the serpent's venom. I'll go to the serpent's venom.
Okay, rightio. All good. So you're not paying anything. It's part of the guild.
Yep.
So
they take a cut from anything I steal, which is what's 10% of
10%. Yep. So if you
12 copper.
So you give them 1 copper.
Yeah. Something like that.
And 1 tin. Settle down, guys.
Okay, if you do have a tin, yes, 1 copper, 1 tin. Yeah. That'll be fine.
1 copper, 1 tin.
Rightio. Yep. Rightio. So you get some sort of gruel and then you settle down for the night. Okay, so trying to get you to the morning. Where are you going when you get up? It'll probably be mid-morning because you're more of a night person, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't know, I guess I'll roam around, still really just drifting at the moment.
Okay. So I'm going to say midday, you sort of catch you're in the docks just seeing what's happening, you're sort of hovering around the area where this thing's supposed to be attacked, just seeing if there's any marks or anything.
Yep.
And you do
abandoned buildings.
Yeah, you sight your group. For some reason Rosetta and Folmic seem to be doing some dock work, perhaps they're finding a way to get money or something, you don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I will look at them,
and
just do nothing but look at them because he hasn't quite sussed out that he actually knows these people.
You do know them.
Yeah.
You recognise them as your group, but you've got that whole what the hell's happened sort of thing going on as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like he's confused by it.
Yep. Okay, all good. Vaki, sorry, I keep on saying Varric for some reason. Vaki, were you going to do something else?
Now, after I finish that my information getting session. Varky's pretty satisfied with himself. He's going to probably head back to the cock or two.
Okay.
And just grab a meal and actually start drinking some half decent wine.
Okay. All good.
Wait for the group to get back.
Okay. The rest of you, what are you doing? Because we're now sort of past the midday hour.
God, Varky's got a problem.
I missed all that, sorry. Melody, what are you doing?
So basically, once I re-meet up with the others at the dock, see if they found anything out. But beyond that, you know, it's the only other suggestion I've got is now we've got to basically either head over to Kalamthera itself and see what we can find out based on the heraldry, or
no one's talking anything at the harbour master's office.
Yeah, well,
that's all I can say.
Well, the harbour master's missing, allegedly.
That would be
allegedly, yeah.
To see him.
He's missing, you say? He's missing.
No, that's what we heard.
Well, that's interesting.
Right.
Why
So
would
did you
somebody
guys at the
mumble?
dock manage to find out anything about the boat?
Was that
Yep. Ship. It was a ship for House Coloured under the captain of Turnus Coloured, of the city of whatever it was. Was it
Kalamthera.
Kalanthera. Yeah.
Caliphate?
Kalanthera.
Caliphate.
Yeah. Califont, yeah. City of Califont.
Investigators will be
Kalamthera.
coming soon to investigate the situation. That's why we're around work.
Yep.
That's
So,
interesting.
Nobody notices dock hands. Anyway, got to get back to work. Bye.
Yeah, yeah.
With the hands.
So the investigators are coming. I mean, if we're gonna either glean or listen to or apply any information from anyone,
I'd
You
rather
would be
not
the investigators.
Be caught listening in on Inquisition.
well,
So
I know
even though
that's
most of you haven't had the privilege or the happy experience of encountering them, I'm probably going to say that Nodfung has, which is why he knows what not to do around them. You probably would know that they do have a bit of a reputation for being hard asses, and being able to employ all sorts of interesting procedures to gain information.
Yeah,
So you'd understand that them coming down here is probably what's sending at least the station master into the atmosphere.
And definitely, might have caused the harbour master to gap it as fast as he could if he's not already in their custody.
That's possible.
That's why no one said anything.
It's about now that they'll arrive and the whole atmosphere changes. It's been basically from an ant nest to try to get ready to this. There's an anticipation in the air that's quite palpable. You can sort of see the station master shrink a couple of inches in height, and his whole demeanour he's been very bossy and very directive. He starts looking quite submissive right now. There's a guard that is attached to the investigators, and they sort of get taken over. You can't really talk, you can't really hear what they're saying, apart from one person in the group if they want to try to listen in. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going terribly well for Harkham at the moment.
So who was it that listened?
Yep.
Or a person who can go invisible.
What was your chance again? Sorry, Sid.
Hair noise 10.
Yeah, 10. Okay.
I thought Sid was in, not the.
No,
dock.
he's just walking around the dock, just observing things.
Drifting.
Yeah.
Hey.
You can't hear stuff, but you definitely get the idea that your impression of them, that's how it's going down for this guy. So you would not be surprised if he's taken into custody.
Step ladder.
Yeah. And it's a matter of minutes before some guards are brought over and he's taken away.
Bye-bye.
He doesn't really say much. The guards sort of move around. They're heading towards the other guards down the other end of the dock, the ones, you know, Folmic, that know who you are or what you're doing. What are you doing about now?
I'm idly watching.
I am getting the fuck away from our teammates.
Right.
I am sort of surreptitiously but casually leaving the dock area.
I'm following her. It just clicked. Yeah, I'm moving.
Right. Okay. Rosetta, what are you doing?
So we know how bad the Inquisition are?
They can get, yeah. People go to them and just disappear. They never come back sometimes.
Do they is there much known about them? Do they strictly follow the letter of the law? No,
there's a whole lot of rumours about them.
Yep. I'll risk it. I'll stay working at the docks.
Okay.
Until at least I finish doing what I need to do.
Right. Nodfang, what are you doing?
I will stay around, but I will be doing my best to hide in shadows now.
Okay. What's your chance of hiding in shadows?
20.
Okay. Okay, so you just watch them. They walk around, they look, they sort of inspecting the water. The guards sort of point some things out, but they're a distance away, so you can't hear anything. Then they start travelling back, and you, hang on, you overhear 3 words. Watch out for, and it's, you're not sure, but it's like did they say Black Sember or did they say something else? You're not quite sure, but they said what you definitely we got to watch out for.
The black something.
Yeah, you think you might have heard Black Sember. You're not sure. It's when they sort of moved on. You didn't want to move in case you gave away your location. Yeah. So, shall we say that everyone meets at the Cockatrice a little later on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Later on that evening.
Afternoon.
Well,
yeah. Yeah. So basically, that whole part of the dock is closed off. Ships are moved, and guards are posted at both ends of the pier. Items and property are moved, that sort of stuff. So it's and you will notice, Rosetta, that there are guards wearing the signia of the investigators. So it's not the ordinary city guard anymore.
Cool.
Yeah. So something fairly major is happening there, if you hadn't already sort of put that together.
It makes sense. Someone big was on that ship. Or important.
Possibly. So you guys, everyone eventually gets together at the Cockatrice. I don't know how much you share with each other. I don't know if you share with Nodfung that he's actually got a job, if he wants to take it for 100 silver pieces, 2 weeks worth.
150, wasn't it, buddy?
100.
Oh, wait, I wanted 150. That's right.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you get any other extra information that might be useful.
Once the whole company's assembled, I'll separate from my drinking buddies, who I've clearly made friends with in the meantime, and try to convene a committee meeting.
Right. Yep.
Are you voting to start the meeting?
Yes, I make a motion to put a meeting in place. Jesus, I hate democracy.
I second it.
Right. Okay.
Filibuster. Yeah. So once we're all together.
Yep.
Being a bit drunk and a bit sloppy at this point from the fine wine I've been drinking. Fine-ish relevant, I think. I'll say my friends, I think I have a motive.
You do?
Okay.
To do what?
For the dragon sinking a ship, and for potentially someone getting the dragon to sink a ship, but mainly one or the other.
Not getting much teeth.
I'm trying to
probably
tease
gonna
it
go
out.
missing in the night, guys. So there's also that.
But anyways, Vaki says he'll keep him safe. Are we sharing a room?
We are now.
I'll keep you safe, buddy. I'll say, what makes the world go round, fellas?
Money.
Money makes the world go round. Turns
in
out
particular.
that ship was from some godforsaken city-state to the north, which has been blocking produce being traded between city-states. If that's not a motive, I don't know what is. But I couldn't get much else, boys. And then I'll order another round for the table. Anyone else get anything pertinent?
City-state...
We found out who was on the ship.
Khalid.
Yeah. How did you know?
Have we all shared our information?
The drunken sailors told me Khalid from Kala something.
Tyrannus Khalid from...
Oh, I didn't know Tyrannus Khalid.
Tyrannus.
There is the captain of the ship. Ship was for the was under the house. Sorry. Yep, it was a ship for the House of Khalid under the captain of Tyrannus.
Anyway.
Tyrannus.
Yep.
Tyrannus Khalid.
So is this city-state to the north? Is this the one that directly borders the swamp?
No, it's nowhere near the swamp.
That's Vark. If you said that out loud, Varky says, "No, I don't think the city-state called the dragon, fellas. I think the merchants or the people with the cashula who want to buy the produce have taken incognito action against them."
Okay. Can you order a dragon?
What's that?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It would take a lot to convince a dragon to sink a ship, you would think.
Anyone else got any information about dragons and such?
The harbor master is missing. It's not about dragons, but I feel like that's a semi-important piece of information.
You have to go, Sid.
He's already gone.
He's gone.
Hey, Steve.
Yep.
Like a big part of my tirade was involving in Sid sharing his information.
Yep.
Is Sid gonna do that?
Well, no, but Nodfung will. Well, he will tell you that he's heard this name Khalid in conversations last night. He'll tell you that there seems to be some thing or one or group, or he doesn't know, but it's something called the Black Sember, which seems to have people concerned, might be the best word. And the black dragon you talk of, he knows its name is Emberance Al-Zed. And he knows a bit of history about it. And apparently it lives near a little... Sorry?
Does he share any of that history?
Not much, but apparently it lives nearby a small swamp village of KAM. K-O-U-M.
completely metagaming and out of character, does he, because once again, he's not here now, does he mention the tithe?
What tithe?
You said that the villagers normally pay
the villagers pay the dragon.
No, he probably wouldn't. He would give you a location. He would give you some names.
What about if we pressured him for more information about the dragon?
Well,
he's not like an NPC. He's one of us.
Offer him food. Offer him food.
How much do you emphasize that he's going to be earning that money?
I say 100 gold, 100 silver piece, just the beginning, friend.
By that you mean we're going to get more?
The more information, the more money. And this time you'll be there for negotiations, friend, not these weak-minded fools.
Well, he'll tell you about the tithe. He'll tell you... what else can he tell you? That it's bad that the investigators officers involved, and that person that he saw taken away by them, don't ever count on seeing him again. Once they get their claws into you, they believe that you're in some way part of whatever it is they're investigating, and it's not very often that people can get away from that.
I order, by the way, at that point, a hearty meal for everyone and some drinks. Be spent each day. What I gather us all closer to the table is how many people are around us?
No, there's a few, but you can, you've got a table that you can.
We huddle in.
Well, hang on a second, because it's really, really easy to do this. You just ask your person who is your professional in this area. Oh, get down to it. For some reason I've got it at the top. Nodfung is just looking around because I know it's at least it's under what he'd rolled before. He feels that you don't have to worry about too many people overhearing you as long as you keep it quiet to the group.
Alright guys, crazy theory time. If anyone else has got one you can go first, but I've got my theories about where we can go. Alright.
Teasing again.
Alright, yeah, teasing, dramatically. Taking a long sip from a drink. IRL 2 right now, 1 second.
Oh god. This is
you make me do it too.
So the facts we know are that this ship was captained by someone called Khalid from the land who no one can speak its name. Because we can't remember it. Right? Sorry. Calantes?
Calante.
Calante?
Calanthera.
So we know that Calanthra. We know that the ship.
Calanthra.
We know that the ship was from a guy called Khalid from a place called Calantha. We've heard that this place called Calantha stops produce being traded from places.
We also heard, didn't we, that it was the first ship inside of the harbour from them. Did we not hear that? Yeah.
We did.
First ship inside the harbour.
So we know that they've come here. That's not common, so they're obviously probably an important vessel. They wouldn't just send a random beggar along. We also know now that the dragon lives nearby a village near the swamp. We know the village normally pays a tithe. We've heard the dragon hasn't attacked in 40 years. Maybe the villagers couldn't afford to pay the tithe.
I was somewhat thinking that.
Potentially, because of these trade restrictions that's going on. Maybe that's ruining everyone's economy. Better yet, we know that there's potentially a group called Black Sabbath. We know that money motivates everything. You know, Black Sabbath could have sabotaged the village to not pay the tithe. Told the dragon who speaks English, common, that is because of these guys from this place. Told them that their ship was coming in. Tried to get away with it scot-free. Theory time, says Vaki.
So you think maybe the villagers told the dragon? Wait, you think the villagers told the dragon of the ship in exchange for a tithe?
Black Sabbath.
Black Semba.
Black Semba. I feel like Black Semba might be a proxy group for the rich and wealthy of this area. I feel like they might have, overly taxed the villagers to the point where they couldn't afford to give a tithe, angering the dragon.
But what benefit would the dragon get from sinking the vessel in that case?
if Black Sabbath then talked to the dragons speak to people.
Call it Black Sabbath, for the love of God. I mean, the love of the rock that you worship.
I'm having a thought here. What if the trade restriction itself was cutting off the village's income, so the dragon, wanting more money for his hoard, as dragons are wont to do, decided to put an end to, or attempt to put an end to, the restriction to get more gold from the village.
I actually do agree.
I think that's what Vaki was getting at. The trade restriction is strangling the villagers so they aren't able to pay their tithe. And maybe they mentioned it to the dragon. He decided to change that so the villagers can continue to pay their tithe.
I think it's slightly more sinister, guys. We've heard of a group now from
the group, yeah.
Black Sabbath. I feel like they've orchestrated this whole thing to get away scot-free with wiping out this vessel. Because who would blame them when it was a dragon? You can't control a dragon.
They've been effectively changed to Black Sabbath.
Could have whispered in the ear.
What's that?
Oh my God, you changed it. No.
It just makes it worse now.
Oh God, it's been done.
Whispering in the ear of the villagers, because now the villagers know that this specific trade ship was coming in on this specific day. The harbor master's also missing the man who has the information on
the villagers are innocent. They
coming and going.
I think Black Sabbath, I think, has has bloody orchestrated this whole thing. I reckon even Black Sabbath either told the villagers to tell the dragon who did it. Either way, I think they've orchestrated this to try get the trade back, to make more money. It's motive.
Harbor Master.
So you think Black Sabbath has sort of used the bad blood between the villagers not being able to pay their tithe to their own ends to have this ship sunk for their own reasons, but
to get the trade restrictions lifted.
Yeah, basically. Wait, to get the trade restrictions lifted? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Or at least punish the place that's doing it. Either way.
Yeah, punish the place that's doing it, or get the trade to eventually potentially get the trade restrictions lifted. Well, I think we have to at least investigate this group, Black Sabbath.
It could even be worth talking to the village, though, to see if any strange people came along and was like, kind of,
My vote's on checking with the village first.
Yeah,
I agree with that, 100%. I agree with checking with the village.
Because random people could have come and pushed them in certain directions to try and manipulate the dragon.
Yeah, manipulated them. They could have manipulated them to manipulate the dragon. Yeah.
And, the weakest link is always, the manipulated victim, so...
Yeah. Then again, the dragon's quite intelligent.
Yeah, but the dragon...
Still, nevertheless, I agree with investigating the village first.
That's the thing, it's easier... the villagers
if anything, we can get information.
If they thought they were telling the truth. They wouldn't be able to lie to the dragon, I don't think. But if the villagers just thought it was the truth, maybe they could convince the dragon.
Yeah. Unless there's a chance that before we leave for the village, we can glean information from the Inquisition's investigation.
I don't know what Nod Fun's eyes would look like when he heard "Let's go mess with the Inquisition." But
yeah, I know. I understand that.
He would be saying, probably he'd be getting up and saying, "Well, it's nice knowing you, but I won't be joining you."
Yeah, I think okay. Go off with Nod Fung. We'll start off the Nod Funyuns.
All right.
I think getting out of town for a little bit would be nice too, because I did kind of dive into the pier, and they took the man who knows I was trying to also investigate the ship.
Oh yeah, man. So. Bloody the Inquisition.
Whoa, that's a good idea. Yeah, all right.
Honestly, we should maybe leave town tonight. Let's take out.
Yeah. I actually agree. They're probably coming for you. I mean, if they took him. Yeah, now that he said that, I'm going into freak out mode. Let's pack stuff.
You see why I said if I go missing in the night, you know what happened.
I've got my own room, right? That's how this arrangement finished up, yeah?
I love how people get thrown under the bus so quickly.
No, I won't leave my Izzy, as in Izzy and I. Sorry. Folmic and I think let's literally pack our things and go now in an orderly fashion, 2 at a time.
I agree.
Folmic first.
Should
Let's
we
back up then.
perhaps maybe tell the guild we're heading elsewhere?
Is this a guild
I don't
sanctioned
think we
mission?
tell anyone.
Is it a guild sanctioned mission, Steve? Do we know?
No.
No.
I wouldn't think so.
No?
Oh, then no,
Fia.
we're just going. Fuck telling the guild.
No, Fia, look at it like this. If we just suddenly vanish, what does that say about us?
2 at a time.
More-
Things are moving on.
Okay.
More
I
importantly,
think.
me.
Does the guild have missions posted at the time? I think one of us takes a random mission, but we leave to do what we're going to do.
I'll take
If
the
anything,
mission.
you take the mission.
Yeah.
Tell them that we're heading out on that mission.
Do you
Try
know
to take
what
one in an opposite direction.
the penalty for forfeit is, though?
What is the penalty for?
What is the penalty for forfeit?
You'll be owing the guild a hell of a lot of money because you'll be bringing them into bad reputation.
All right, new plan. I think tell the guild that we go. Which way is this village, by the way?
It is further up. So you are this dot, and it is further up the coast, not 7 feet away, but roughly 220, 30 odd miles away,
To the
which
what,
is
south,
roughly a
west?
well, you're going to be heading into a gentle northeasterly direction.
Oh, we're going. I think what we do.
Okay, well we got some time. What
I
if there are
think
missions on the way that we can do?
I think what we should
down to the
do
guild.
is tell the guild that we've been contracted privately for a mission to escort a wagon to the opposite direction we're heading. Pay the guild their cut because we're only getting paid, let's say, 1 gold. So how much do we owe the guild then?
10%.
We'll just give them their 1 silver piece for the mission, and then we'll leg it 2 at a time, or all together, even just to the opposite direction. That should, hopefully
sounds
settle
good.
down.
Sounds good. I mean,
I'm in agreement.
yeah, I'm in agreement. Let's say it was a private.
Well, that's
Okay.
3 out of 5, so the Hellhounds are having a chord, although does Rosetta and Rosetta and Ron want to speak up? Mallory? Melody?
Andrew said he's gotta go.
Okay.
Oh.
I was still here to hear that though.
Okay. Well, what we'll do tonight is just decide where you're going to start next time we play, and we'll leave it there. So we'll finish in a couple of minutes. So, does Melody have anything else to add, or does Zeta have anything else to add?
Not really. The only thing that my mind's constantly thinking of is like, I'd like to. My first hit would be we go to Kalanthera. We talk to the House of Khalid and find out exactly why they were heading for here. Because if this is the first ship from there,
If you say that out loud, I'm gonna have to strongly try articulate what all of the sailors seem to think of people from that place. I don't know how good our negotiations would go.
but who's to say that they're not here, or they weren't coming here to act as a decent liaison, in between? And so the other Kalantherian merchants or noble families are the ones that have basically paid the dragon to shut them down. It would have put a massive, through to them.
Honestly, once again, I like the Hellhounds method of votes.
Yeah,
Wait.
A possible suggestion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, sorry. What was that, Rosetta? About? Yeah, I'm just wondering. What were you getting at, Rosetta, again? Sorry.
Melody.
Melody. Oh, it's Melody. Yeah.
Why is this the first ship from there that's come here in ages?
Yeah.
It's at the moment it's shown up, it's been sunk. So, wouldn't going to the, I hate to say it, the head of that snake, and asking, why did you suddenly want to come to Callisto or Callisto?
Counterpoint, I feel like the head of the house of that place will be able to kill us for insolence, whereas the villagers won't be able to.
This is a good point.
I think they're both viable options of information, though. I will say that I think the village might be a better place to go first, but I do agree that there's a viable question in that.
The thing is,
and why was this the first ship to come?
Yeah, exactly.
What was their reason for coming here?
What was their reason for coming here? And like I say, the thing is this family breaking from the tradition that everyone hates these people for?
Or are they holding that tradition up and they're going to be really angry at us for going there and talking shit?
Yeah,
So
or are
then-
they breaking
then
the
all
tradition?
other-
And did
that's
the
what I say.
dragon come to
if they're
stop
the
that?
if they're the only one that is breaking the tradition, you know, who's well, let's put it this way: the dragon targeted them. So either they have pissed the dragon off
Yeah.
somehow, or someone else has managed to create some kind of agreement with the dragon.
Or it could be, yeah,
And
it
like
could
I
be the
say,
royal houses
a
of
whole-
Calanthe are happy
whole-
with their
With
happy
their
with their bowguarding,
hold over
and then
everybody and have paid off the
Yeah.
dragon a mint to keep their because essentially anything you want to get into the Great KAM River on their side, you've got to go through one of their households to get it past them, right?
Yep.
So you've got to be paying them a crap ton of tax. What if the
Yep.
Khalids are like looking at, you know, getting some kind of free through or only a miniature tax compared to the rest? If they're we don't know whether this Khalid family is royalty, whether they're just nobles, or whether they're full-on merchants.
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is that if there's a 50-50 chance that's correct and it would work out good, or that it's incorrect and would work out dead. Whereas
Just remember,
villagers,
we've only got 2 weeks and slogging our way into a swamp.
I'm not dying
and
for
then
10 gold.
Slogging our way out.
Well, you can catch
the village
a
is
ship
on the
to
edge of the swamp. Isn't it?
Yeah. You
It's
can
on the
catch
edge
a
of the swamp,
ship
so we're not
if
going
you
into
find
the
the
swamp.
right ship. That's easy enough to get to Coombe.
And how far is the village from Calanthra proper? Calanthra proper.
Well, Coombe is at the base of this arrow, and the tip of the arrow is where it is. So that to there is roughly 220 miles, which will take roughly around about 2 days to get there.
So it's quite a ways away.
4, 6, 8.
And like I say, and which way did the
10,
dragon take
12,
off when I was
13.
gawking at it flying off?
Back to
again?
his home.
Back to the
Back
swamp.
that way. Yeah.
Back to the
So,
swamp.
just to put on my sort of theory even further, so say, you know, good old Khalid and his bunch sail from Calanthra, then someone catches wind of what their plot might have been. It's actually almost quicker to sail to Coon, quickly get in touch with the dragon, have the dragon fly out, torch the trash the ship as it's coming into port.
The ship. Yep.
And thing, like the other option would have been pirates, but pirates may not have been able to catch them.
Like I said, I actually think both of the theories are just as likely in my mind. My only issue is one theory, at worst case, we've got angry villagers and no information. The other place, the worst case is we're going to be going into a really bad place full of a much more powerful people with much less options of escape.
This way, we've already
got nothing to say
put
that'll kill us.
We've already put ourselves in bed with a much more powerful organization. Because guess what? We've
There was
got
no threat
this
of-
mysterious. We've
There
got
was
this
no threat
mysterious
from not getting
backer,
Well,
who I'm
we're
probably guessing, given
He's-
that they had been down at the docks and looking at this and watching us, we're probably there to talk business with the Khalids on something. I think our mysterious backer is the one that basically is.
But our back is not going to hurt us. He's made no investment.
he's not.
He hasn't
That's
done
it,
it for
he's
years.
He's not there to
Well, I
hurt
agree.
us. But you know,
Well, I
we're
agree
already
with
playing
both.
with very powerful parties.
It's true, and while there's no chance, it's not definite that the people from Calanthra will kill us or even imprison us for going there. The simple fact is that one place is on the way to the other. So we might as well check out, if we're going to go to Calanthra, we might as well check out the village on the way.
Okay with that.
Well, I think both are viable.
I just don't want to go.
options
I
of
just don't want to go
information.
trying to hunt a dragon in the middle of the
No,
swamp.
God, we're never ever doing
Oh
that.
no, we're going to the village on the edge of the swamp. No
We're
one's
gonna
going near
talk
the
to them
dragon.
and
No one
ask
wants to
them
go near the
if
edge of the
they're-
dragon. Yeah.
Well,
We were gonna ask the
I
villagers
can
if
see
anyone
that passing
let
through the
them.
village isn't a problem, but just make sure that we do have the availability of a boat to go further.
Because boats outrun dragons, as we've seen in the dock.
No, it was more a case of
Still.
the biggest question to ask in Coombe or whatever it is would be, you know, has any fancy ships from Calanthra suddenly shown up in your sort of neck of the woods? Have you seen anyone strange floating?
They
past?
could have stopped there. They could have.
They
You
could have,
never
but
know,
also,
basically.
once again, I still
Things
think the
could have been
backers,
mentioned.
at this point, since we don't know the politics, the backers could be from either place trying to change the situation or keep it the same.
But either
So
way,
it
they
could
must
be.
have contacted the dragon.
Which means I
And the
feel like
closest
they
way
would-
to contact that is the village.
Yeah, so village first.
Yep.
It's on the way anyway.
Okay. And that's as you guys are going out, if you're going out in pairs, that's where we'll leave the game for this part of the year, and we'll start up next year. We'll organise a time where you guys are finding a ship to initially travel to KAM, and then based on what you find there, wherever else you're going to go.
Or are we just commandeering a ship?
Think about what could be happening at the docks right now, given the situation.
It's not about comment. That's more a not fun kind of situation.
I'm sorry. Isn't it? You did realize that my class was swashbuckler, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Why hire a ship when you can capture it?
When you can commandeer one. Exactly, and just find somebody that's already got this ready to go.
Or commandeer one and rig it and sail it with what, 5 people?
You watch me.
Are you gonna commandeer the whole crew as well?
We're not catching a boat, are we? Jesus.
No, don't worry about that part until next year. Well, it's definitely got a lot of discussion going on, a lot of thinking. What I'll probably do between now and then is just do a quick little write-up of the stuff you know, so you can think about it over Christmas break.
You write the name of Black Sabbath and the other thing down?
It's already in the... It's already... I'm
Sabbath.
changing to Black Sabbath. What's happened though is I've increased its ability to do lots more damage.
To bite the heads off flying rodents.
Yeah. But I'll write the stuff up and send it as an email, so you've got some information to ponder. And if you're gonna do any discussion about this between each other, I'll set up and I'll send out a link to everyone for a Google Plus account while they're still around for KAM. And I'll just save it all as because the Google Plus is going to disappear in April.
How's that going to affect us at all?
Well, I don't know what we're going to do.
Discord?
Weren't you on that thing, MeWe, Steve?
Yeah, I don't like it. It's really...
Oh, you don't like it?
It's no, because it's so paranoid with privacy stuff. It's not the same.
That's the thing
it
I
came
like
up with a
about
bell
it,
and whistles. Yeah. Discord is probably... Well, Hangouts is going to disappear as well. So Discord is probably where we're going to go. Still use Roll20. Right. We might try. They might have improved Roll20 to handle the audio. And when somebody gets kicked out of Roll20, it doesn't take everyone else out. We'll try
so Hangouts is going to be gone too?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only way you can keep up to that is if you get the enterprise model and someone's got to pay for it.
Discord sounds alright.
Well, how much is it?
I don't know, but the thing is you lose all the other Google Plus, like no one's going to be posting like they normally do. All those groups are going to disappear, and you're going to... It's the whole role-playing, old OSR anyway, is going to be fractured again until we can find a central platform. Because... Yeah.
Discord, you can set up like text channels depending. Like you could have separate text channels. Like, oh, I wanna have my writing here, or like it's a good resource to keep compiled information.
Are you talking about Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use it for another D&D session that I do, and I use it for my real life session.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just a certain sense of ease that you got to learn with G+. So it's just about relearning a new thing, but I think any platform is not going to be the same because you're not going to be able to disseminate the information as you can with G+. Because only people belonging to that Discord channel are going to get that information. Whereas you just subscribe to somebody and you get all the feed and you decide what you want to go into and what you don't want to go into. Sorry, I'll just stop the recording because we're now talking about something else.